Hey, this is Enter Scoop Phase, I'm Otaku Superior, and if you thought this was a Vairina and Nirvana deck profile for D-BT04, you might be correct! Now with the new set, there are two ways you could build this deck. You can either use the prayer card, or not. We're using the prayer card. Now starting with the ride line, we're running Trickstar, because everyone is. There's obviously a reason for this. That's because when you ride to grade 3, you'll Soul Blast it using Ryu, then call it using Nirvana. It's always going to be there. This guarantees that Trickstar is going to be in the graveyard for you to call it back. This also means that since we're not using Egg and we're using a Trickstar, there's one more slot in the main deck for something else. Other than that, the ride line's the same as the start deck. Grade 1 Reno, when you ride on her,
hey, phrasing!
You can search out another Trickstar and call it. Grade 2 Ryu, when you ride Nirvana on her.
Like a Bantha.
Soul Blast 1 to search out the basic Vairina. Is that how you pronounce this? No. Then on the main phase, you use Nirvana's Act skill and call the Trickstar you Soul Blasted. Now for the main deck, 2 more Trickstars. Be nice if we had room for the 4th. There isn't. I did mention it's a prayer build. We're running 4 prayers. Counterblast 1 to play this gives your Vanguard red text. Whenever you perform Overdress, draw a card, and Vanguard gets 5k. The point is to spam this as much as possible. We're running 16 Overdress units. We're running 2 of the base Vairina, because Ryu can only search out the base one, and the second there just to make sure the first one ends up in damage and you can still have a target. 4 arcs because Pot of Greed. Note we are not running Urger. This is because once you ride to grade 4 with Nirvana, it is useless. Oh god. God, where'd it go? 30 Valiente. Is that how it's pronounced? I'd run less if I could, but I can only run 4 Expecta, so Gains 5k for everything dressed under it, and its attack hits when it's dressed up. Counterblast 1, discard a card, restand it. You're not going to get that off very often, it's mostly just pressure. Or Expecta, this thing's beautiful. Gains the combined total attack power of everything underneath it. When it's dressed up and swings at a grade 3 or higher Vanguard. Counterblast 1, it gets 15k in a crit, and then just loses all its dressings. It's fine, it's like Valiente, it just forces guards out. Spero Redea, is that how it's pronounced? I don't frickin' know. When you dress it up, all your Overdress and Trickstar units in drop go under it, and when your Vanguard attacks Soul Blast 1, this restands and gains 5k for everything underneath it. So, sort of like Valiante's, but you have to pay a cost to get it. One of the nice things about Esperidea, when you overdress it, put all the other stuff underneath it, then you can overdress Expecta on top of it, and gain the combined power of everything. Drop grade 3 Nirvana in the main deck so we can run the grade 4. On your turn, if you have an overdressed unit, your front row gets 10k. Also as an act skill, Counterblast and put a copy of it, or grade 3 Nirvana, which you probably aren't running, from hand or soul into drop. Free call a grade 0, so Trickstar, and deal 1 damage to your opponent if they've got 4 of these. Running 4 PGs, obviously. For triggers, 4 heals, duh. 8 crits, because obviously they won't let us run more. 3 draws, as it's a combo-heavy deck. Overtrigger, because it exists. If you're in a proper tournament that's banned this thing, just run a 4th draw, and that's the deck. Now, you can also be a protagonist shill. Moshi Moshi Otaku Superior desu. Yoroshiku. God, I'm not keeping that, am I?